Hello, everyone. This is Jim Okerzinski with your weekly lecture video. As we are viewing the announcements page here, just to highlight, discussion board aid is exercise 1.5. That's your topic proposal. That is critical. So I will review discussion board 8 and the instructions at the end of this lecture video. One thing I would like to, where I want to really begin this week is in chapter 1 in A Curious Researcher, and I want to just reach back to the introduction a little bit. And I did talk about theories of intelligence in last week's lecture video and had the opportunity to review all the discussion board posts that were posted up on Friday over the weekend. Didn't talk too much about it in the screencast video on Sunday into Monday, but if we really took a good hard look at theories, we all would agree that it does have all of the components of a research essay. It's got research, solid, reliable, credible sources, works cited page. He uses memory and experience, observation to support his notion that he's not as dumb as he thought he was. There were interviews and, like I said, secondary sources. So the idea here is it has really all of the elements of a research essay, just because of the topic that most people feel the way Ballinger presented it in a narrative style, and he's talking about himself. You could put yourself maybe in Ballinger's shoes about, sometimes we all doubt our intelligence at certain points in our existence. Him being an academic, he had the opportunity to do that a bit more, but I can assure you that was a research essay. So while we're here in the Curious Researcher slide presentation and preparing yourself for discussion board number 8, you want to develop a working knowledge. And here are some of the bullet points that the chapter talks about. On page 27, I really would prefer, this is one section you should read. Reason being for the 2 to 3 soft sources that I ask you to include in discussion board 8, so you have some sort of working knowledge about your topic. One item too that the textbook talks about in chapter 1 is just some of the quick research strategies for develop that working knowledge. You're working from a question, you want to research a certain definition in your topic, certain people in your topic. The book talks about Wikipedia, working through some multimedia sources, researching certain people or disciplines in your particular topic are all ways for you to kind of look at some of the areas where you can pick up that working knowledge. Narrowing is always an issue when we start out on a research topic. For example, some people might say, I want to, talk about social media. Well, it's a broad category now. What is social media? You can't really discuss it and research it in a holistic sense. There's so many different platforms now, you have to be able to narrow it down, whether it's Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, Reddit, whatever that particular platform might be. Recently, TikTok is taking it's really dominating the conversation a lot of times with social media. So you have to be a little bit more precise in your determination is to narrow down your social media topic. What platform? What's the problem does it cause? Is there a cause and effect relationship? I think it's important that you have to really kind of think narrow in your, begin to narrow your research topic, okay? Here you have crafting your open and inquiry question is on page 34. Talks about the different types of questions, offers some templates in table 1.2 that's at the top of page 35. Look at one of those templates to see which may fit your topic. Use one of the templates for discussion board number 8. That'll help you. I'm asking for a research question. There's nothing wrong with using one of the templates. See if you can fill in the blanks and use one to help you get started on that discussion board. So we want to talk about focusing your topic in your research paper is a good section. And then possible purposes for a research assignment. Now, this is really a critical section to read this on page 37. Ballinger talks about two major purposes in writing a research assignment, right? One is to explore, where you basically it's a essay-like form, narrative structure, much like theories. Okay, you will have some sort of a delayed thesis toward the end of it. You're going to talk about your topic and kind of discuss the research that you uncover about your topic. That's where you really look to learn. And then the traditional pattern is to argue, where you kind of have a hunch about where you're going. You're able to draw up some sort of a thesis, and then you spend the rest of the paper supporting your thesis, all right, with all the source information, personal experiences, secondary sources, multimedia sources. It's going to be more of the traditional academic research paper. And this is really important to understand these two purposes because it makes up a component in your discussion board post. So, reading for research, I would take the time to review this particular section on page 37. Ballinger talks about large ballrooms, small ballrooms, and how we get into conversations. Take a look at the top of page 92. It'll make a little sense there where the Kenneth Burke, the rhetorician that Ballinger mentions in page 37, also has a little excerpt there where he talks about walking into a parlor. So you might want to take a look at that on the top of page 92. And really, here is a section on how to read an academic article, how to go through the different components in an academic article. Everybody gets a little nervous and you don't know how to really attack a scholarly article. And they're relatively simple to really review and extract some of the information that you need for your topic. You don't have to read the whole thing and understand it. The first step is to read the abstract. Second step is look at some of the literature review. It might even have a section titled literature review where they let you know exactly, the authors let you know where the conversation is and who's talking and working on what. There's usually a thesis. You can find the thesis in there. The purpose of this study is the kind of language you would look for. Where also they describe the methodology and then the outcomes. What's always important is look for a discussion section where they talk about all of that and what does it really mean, and you might be able to extract some information from there. And the other idea is to look at the conclusion, right? So the idea here is don't get nervous. You're going to skim and scan a lot of the information that you're going to need. No sense to read a whole article and plow through a 25 page scholarly article. You should be able to just skim it, look for the important sections, and extract the kind of information that you need. We'll come back and talk a little bit about this when we get into chapter 2, and we begin looking at how to research and the research for the topic. That's why the topic is really critical for you to explain and explore and write about in discussion board number 8. So once again, let me get to that discussion board. Here, number 8. Instructions are really straightforward. Begin the first paragraph with your inquiry question. Once again, I'm looking for one of the templates, all right, that I talked about in table 1.2. Then write a few sentences each for the two purposes. A few sentences about exploring and arguing, all right? It's explained in the textbook, so I want at least a few sentences, if not more, for each. What would you explore and what would your potential argument be? And then add another paragraph describing your prior beliefs, assumptions, personal experiences. So I am looking for some engagement with this, 300 to 350 words for your proposal. Include 2 to 3 soft sources, right? Try to develop that working knowledge to help you develop your content. I'm not looking for formal citations, but do include the URL, the links to your sources. I want to be able to click through and look what you were able to review to help build your research proposal. All right, that's all I have for this week's lecture video. If you have any questions, send me an email. I've engaged with many students about their potential topics. As you can see here, I have a full sheet of all, I've got 3 sections of 1102 working right now. And what happens is I'm keeping track of everybody's topic and where they're going with it. So please be thorough in your discussion board. It'll help you out for the rest of the semester. Once again, if you have any questions, you know where to reach me. Good luck and stay safe.